A very unpopular vote is happening behind me here at the Knott County Courthouse. Find out how it might affect you coming up at 6.
This building right here is the Daniel Boone Hotel in Whitesburg, and there are plans, actually 2 phases, to renovate it and turn it back into an operating hotel. Straight ahead, hear about the snags that it has hit and its timetable. Now they're figuring out how to fix them. Our next system starts as rain but could end as some light snow. Those details now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Some tough decisions tonight in Knott County. The judge executive there, Jeff Dobson, took over at the beginning of the month. He says they face significant financial trouble, and that could lead to shutting down the local government. The Fiscal Court will address that tonight. WYMT's Justin Case explains what all is on the table, and he joins us now live. Justin?
Steve, there are 3 options on the table being discussed right now in the fiscal courtroom here at the Knott County Courthouse. Now, option 1 is a county government shutdown. Now, that would cut funding drastically to many of the services provided here in the county, including the county road department. Now, number 2 is a 2% occupational tax. That tax would be added to employees here in Knott County. And number 3 is a 6% insurance tax that would be charged to anyone who purchases insurance except for life and medical insurance. In 2017, an 8% insurance tax was in place. Because of a sunset provision, that tax expired December 31st. Without that tax money,
we spend a lot more than we're allotted for, actually more than we can afford.
The new county judge executive says he has already cut county spending, but without more revenue or cutting county services entirely, he says the county will not be able to continue operating.
We cut probably $300,000, and we're probably going to have to cut another $900,000 to make ends meet, or we're going to have to implement something to get us some revenue.
A local insurance office was hit hard by the last tax that went into effect. Now officials at the office worry about what choice is voted through by the fiscal court.
I don't know what they can do otherwise. I don't know what potential sources of income they have, but I wouldn't want the decision. I wouldn't want to be in their position. It's a tough decision no matter which way they go.
Steve, now that meeting started right at 6 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and run in there right now, but don't worry, because everything in terms of the vote, which choice is voted on and approved by the fiscal court, we'll have all that tonight at 11. Steve?
All right, Justin Case, thank you. Tonight at 7, the Hazard City Commission will take up Sunday alcohol sales. We're told city officials will have the first reading of the proposal. If passed, it will have a second reading next month. For alcohol sales on Sunday to happen in Hazard, there must be a majority vote. This would only be for the city, not the county. A contract worker for Kentucky Utilities is in the hospital tonight. Officials say he was shocked while working near the RJ community. Nearly 1,700 people lost power because of the accident, including 2 schools. The extent of the man's injuries are not known. However, we do know he was flown to the University of Tennessee Medical Center. KU officials say he worked for Davis H. Elliott Company, but we do not know his name. The Alcoholic Beverage Control is now looking into a deadly crash that killed 6 people on I-75. Police say Joey Lee Bailey was driving the wrong way when he crashed into the Abbas family. Bailey grew up in Floyd County. The Fayette County coroner says Bailey's blood alcohol content was nearly 4 times the legal limit. The ABC could not give any other details about their investigation.
And as the sun sets here across eastern Kentucky, the clouds continue to roll in. Let's take a look at the Whitesburg camera. You'll notice we are looking at a quiet pattern for now, but cloud cover continues to increase not only across eastern Kentucky, but across the Commonwealth and even out to the west ahead of that next low pressure system, which is soon to be working into Missouri. And that low is going to bring some heavy rain for us in the next coming days. Winds, they're already shifting out of the south anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. That's where you see the temperatures even a little bit warmer for this time of day at 51 in Bowling Green, 50 in Clarksville, and 51 in Nashville. Now closer to home, those temperatures are in the 40s. They'll continue to drop until that system gets just close enough where we can see a little bit of warm air pump in tonight. Now, lows tonight going to be dropping into the lower 40s. That will happen sometime around midnight, and then we really skyrocket right back up into the mid to upper 40s for the morning tomorrow, ending in the 50s as rain begins. But it all ends as some snow. Steve will have the latest thoughts on this system coming up in a few short minutes.
Thank you, Andrew. Organizations across the region have opened their doors to help people with this winter cold that's going to come back a little later this week. One of those is the West Care Homeless Shelter in Pike County. If the temperature drops below freezing between 7 in the evening and 7 in the morning, people can go there. It is serving as a warming shelter. Case manager Anna Wakeland says each year they house around 500 people.
The basic needs that we take for granted every day are the things they need every single day. We need those here.
She says they also need extra donations to help out. They can use anything from food to cleaning supplies. It has sat unoccupied for nearly 30 years. A plan is in place to return it to its former glory, but every time progress is made, it seems like there is a new hurdle. WYMT's Will Puckett updates us on the attempted renovation of the Daniel Boone Hotel in downtown Whitesburg.
It drives the main street of Letcher County's largest town. The Daniel Boone Hotel has not been occupied in nearly 3 decades. But there are hopes of changing that.
The Daniel Boone is kind of the linchpin of the downtown Whitesburg area.
Mayor James Wiley Kraft knows this is a tough job.
It has been a tremendous undertaking.
They have received estimates of more than $6 million is what it will take to turn this hotel into this.
Well, my feeling is that sooner or later, we get all of that put to bed and taken care of.
From the roof being caved in, asbestos, termites, and now lead paint, the list grows longer.
We've done study after study after study.
That all of this can be fixed, leading to hope for the future, that this building can return to its past glory. In Letcher County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Another survey is actually scheduled for tomorrow to determine the next course of action on the asbestos. A woman involved in a Pikeville crash died today. Larissa Walters was just 26 years old. Last Tuesday, investigators say she was in a car that left the road at Bob Amos Park. Investigators told us last night the car hit a tree and gas line. The man driving the car, Jimmy Naylor, also died. He was 47. They still have not determined what led to that crash last week. Few leads in the search for a Knox County murder suspect. That search for Philip Lee Lewis began last week. Lewis is considered a very dangerous person. We know he is 24 years old. He has ties to Mississippi and Michigan. Lewis was wanted out of Mississippi on a parole violation. Now, this is video just before police say he killed Gary Medlin. It happened during an attempted robbery. Police believe Lewis had a getaway driver. People in Whitley County got a chance to get free hepatitis A vaccinations today. The Whitley County Health Department, City Hall, and Dayspring Health Clinics in Williamsburg came together for their first of 2 days this week. They will be giving out 600 doses of free hepatitis A vaccinations, and altogether they gave out more than 260 vaccines.
I just want people to be aware that hepatitis A is a continuing issue in Kentucky, that vaccination is the best thing they can do to protect themselves and their family.
Thursday, they start giving the vaccinations out again at noon in the Williamsburg City Hall and will continue through 6 that evening. A top 25 matchup tonight at Rupp Arena as Kentucky takes on the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. This will be the first of 2 ranked opponents Kentucky hosts this week. WYMT's Tommy Poole is at Rupp with a preview. Tommy?
Hey, thanks, Steve. Now, while the Kentucky Wildcats return home to Rupp Arena, the schedule does not get any easier. That's because they're faced with number 22 Mississippi State tonight. That is 2 of top 25 teams coming into town this week. Now, after coming off a win at number 14 Auburn, UK faces off with another tough opponent in the SEC, being Mississippi State.
You know, when you're watching their team getting prepared for them, that they've, similar to Auburn, that they've got those guys that have been around for 10 years, like they should have graduated by now or be off in the NBA somewhere. I mean, they're a talented veteran team. Obviously, 2 different styles, a very contrasting style between what Auburn does and how they play and what Mississippi State does. So it'll be kind of night and day playing against the 2 different teams.
Hey, Kentucky has some studs themselves, though. They're freshmen really starting to come to form here as we get past the halfway point in the season. Tyler Hero earned SEC Freshman of the Week honors last week for his performance. That is the 5th time a Wildcat has earned that title in the last 6 weeks. And of course, Ashton Hagans was also named a nominee for the Defensive Player of the Year earlier this morning. So should be a great game, which will tip off here soon. Reporting in Lexington, Tommy Poole, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, thank you, Tommy. That game tips off in about 50 minutes. You can catch the Cats in action on ESPN. Kentucky leads the all-time series 88-18. More coming up in sports. Now, Kentucky could soon produce 6 times the amount of hemp it produced last year. Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles says his department approved more than 1,000 applications to produce up to 42,000 acres of hemp this year. Last year, growers planted about 6,700 acres. The most recent farm bill removed hemp from the list of federally controlled substances. The commissioner says Kentucky could be a national leader in hemp production. A Pikeville staple closed about 6 years ago. Jerry's served as a gathering place. Now the old building is coming down. Just ahead, we reflect on what it meant to so many.
And our next system could create a few slick spots for Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Those details are coming up.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
The latest additions to Kentucky Lottery's team are looking to multiply the winnings.
No doubt. There's 5 times the cash, 10 times, as well as 20 times and 50 times the cash.
And 100 times the cash with a top prize of $1 million.
Put a little more play in your day with these new scratch-off games.
Bob Hutchison here for Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville. Here are some deals that Lexington or Huntington can't match. The new Jeep Grand Cherokee with Barracuda package, you can save over $6,000. How about the all-new Jeep Wrangler? It starts at $32,976 or drive it for $498 a month with no money down. Our deals make us #1. Come shop us in Paintsville or online at hutchautogroup.com.
Introducing SBTV, the easiest way to stream a WYMT newscast, live and on demand on any device, anytime. Download the SBTV app for your smart device and start streaming today.